Hello there, my name is Richard. The first time you see my channel, I used to review cartoon series, anime series, or something completely random. Today we're going to talk about Kung Fu Panda Dragon Knight, a new anime series from Netflix. But it's one of those series I highly recommend because it's one of those series was sort of surprising. To be fair, the Kung Fu franchise of Panda was hit or miss. Let's face it, after the second one was so great, the third movie sort of kind of failed, and the series wasn't that amazing. It always sort of, I'm not sure what I'm gonna get, something good, something bad, that sort of feeling, because let's face it, after what happened in the third film, I really got sort of a bad aftertaste about the franchise. Never was sort of satisfying was the second and first film. So yeah, I really didn't have too much high hopes with this new series, but boy, I was wrong. This season was, how to best describe it, complicated, because heroes become villains, villains become heroes, because each character think their own hero on their own story, and that is super interesting. Well, I think I should start is with Poe, that he wanted to take sort of vacation, sort of what worked for him, what he did, all the good deeds he did becoming the Dragon Warrior, till he sort of trip kind of stopped because he heard someone who's stealing the magical item, so he has stopped these two criminals. But unfortunately, he sort of failed, now looking for these two criminals to get the magic glove. And that's basically what the whole story basically begins. But the interesting enough is you have another character called Blade, who actually looking for these criminals and trying to stop them and arrest them. Now Blade is an interesting character because she is multifaceted type of character, that she has layers to her that is interesting and fascinating, but at the same time she has sort of untrust feelings, that she must be independent 24/7, not having help to help her, because she has one goal in life, to do the lesser evil. And that is interesting to succeed this mission, because it's so important to her, because her brother died because of these two criminals and she wants to stop them. You think it's sort of simple and easy, but no. I mean, that's the part that gets super interesting. It becomes more complicated, that the reason she wants to stop, and besides they kill his own brother, is the fact she has guilt, that she's the one who let them go. She's the one where her brother is died. She's the one who wanted to become a knight and accidentally become it, but at the same time with a huge cost. And that is interesting because there is a twist, because when she become a knight, I can say it because I don't want to ruin it for you, but it makes sense why she does this. You feel sort of empathy about this character, especially with Poe, that Poe and Blade are very similar but also very different, because Poe wants to know what's going on, but especially he sort of screwed up. He sort of ruined his name. He robbed his own title from the emperor because he screwed up so badly. People believe he is the guy who basically stole the magic MacGuffin, and that's sort of interesting because Poe is really trying to fix everything, especially with the character called Blade. He's also looking for these other two characters called the Whistler siblings. Both of them are, I love it, they're not cut and paste of villains. They are complicated, because the reason why they're stealing this magic MacGuffins is especially take over England for questionable reasons. They never go that deep, but the little backflashes you get to see the characters or who they were before they would become, you kind of get it. I mean, they don't tell you off why it become villainous, especially one character, that the one, the Weasel character, she's more like a Harley Quinn ripoff but British flavor. But I have to say, she steals the show. She's just so good being sort of maniacal evil, but love it, she's not just the Harley Quinn ripoff. She has his own issues why she became man, especially when she condemned the point in prison because something that she could did, but we don't know she actually did it. But also condemning her own people who are mages, because she also is a mage, a magic user. That itself makes this super interesting because she can use magic, but at the same time she disconnected because she lose focus, and also sort of locked up in prison, kind of messing with you, and it really shows with this character. Also, her brother, that he is also wants to help her, also take vengeance on their own family and brethren who went down, and that itself is interesting. But at the same time, what happened? What led them to follow this road? Especially both weasels are basically what's the best way to describe it? They were honest people, very high-ranking, honest, work with the crown, because they are actually very good people now. I'm losing words here, but you get the idea. I'm so sorry, but that's what made it so fascinating, because there is another character. Let's call him the hunter for right now. This person trying to hunt Blade, and you don't know why and why he keep doing it. Why he's not hunting the weasels, who actually are more dangerous than Blade, and that is fascinating because you don't really know to the very end. I won't spoil it, but it's something that is sort of surprising. You just wow. And now also one thing it just blew me away is how dark this season really went. I mean, not hardcore, this is not metal, but it's something that's they push the boundaries for this franchise. What is dark, you do see a skeleton, dead bodies, they use the word death, you do see people actually dying. At least one death scene happened in this series as a flashback to give you more weight of the situation, and that is interesting because they really want this to actually work, especially what happens at the end of this series, that they're going around the world, specifically in England. I'm guessing they have to find the rest of MacGuffin parts to stop the weasels taking over. But what's more, each character you meet, because they are a lot of characters, each character you meet is sort of unique, refreshing, and almost fulfilling to watch this character becoming kind of better people. It's almost like the group of people Poe collected to stop these weasels are basically questionable people doing a heroic deed, but at the same time they will portray them. Hopefully they do that in season 2, because let's face it, this was very good. Hope we get season 2. Hoping Jack Black continues voicing this character, because you don't know, Jack Black, this is the time he returns to play this character. The rest of the specials, the TV series, I think this is the only time he returned with his co-star Jimmy Hung, if I'm correct. I think I butchered his name, I'm sorry, but he also returned the dad. Yeah, Poe and his dad returned, the original voice actors, and they once more delivered. Let's face it, well, Jack Black, Panda himself, Poe never really feels like Poe. I mean, there are other voice actors who played this character that did a good job, but what's more, it's Jack Black, his personality, the way he says things, to say he's so hyped up, you feel everything, especially how deep this series tried to be. In my opinion, they actually succeeded. I mean, there's so many things about this series I want to talk about, but at the same time, I do not want to ruin. It's one of those I try to control myself. Hopefully, season 2, I go deeper explanation. If they get season 2, honest, I don't know. Now, the only complaint I have about this series is the animation is great, but they have that sort of limitation of animation, that they don't have enough to make enough characters, because there sometimes have to be a village or a whole city. It feels a little empty. Not all the scenes, but there's some of them like, yeah, I kind of wish they have a little bit more budget to add more characters. That's the minor complaint. They also have some other scenes that, like for example, the desert, that they make the desert, but it doesn't feel artistically creative. In other words, it feels sort of lacking, but that's just small little part of this grand series, because that's the only complaints I have. It's not a bad thing, because they know where to put the money is. Because let's face it, sometimes they show something really close to your face, you just see the detail, the expertise of that animation, that design they show you. It's just like, oh, that's all the money went for. I mean, once more, you have to sacrifice to make something good, and they do know how to spend the money. Now, anything else I want to say about this series? Honestly, no. I feel everything worked. Maybe I wish it was 9 episodes, 9/11, because the very end I feel they're trying to drag a little bit, but once more they're trying to attempt it to be dramatic. But all of that, I think that's it. I really have nothing else to say. Just one question: how do you feel about this Kung Fu Panda Dragon Knight? Do you feel it was good, bad? I'm sorry, my words are just mumbling. Anything else, just tell me down below and let me know. Honestly, I got nothing else to say. It's just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.